Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I am still named Jerry, and that guy's still named Edward. We also have with us today, we are fortunate that he's graced us with his presence. We got David from the Toffee Blues website. You may remember him from him writing a lot of stuff. All right, match previews, match reactions. Yeah, he's everywhere. So David, Edward, thanks a lot for being here, guys.
Jeremy.
So let's jump right in with the news. So we are back with more Onyekuru news, which I didn't think was going to come back. I thought that was just going to be a juicy international piece of nonsense. You know, maybe he had gone to Liverpool just for some sort of medical checkup. No. Apparently he's done an interview in Belgium. Apparently he likes to talk. So he basically said, you know what I mean? It gets to all the guys in Belgium apparently. So he gave an interview in which he said that he was waiting for something, and that's all I can say. But that actually wasn't true because he kept talking. He said, I hope to be able to play there in January. Basically saying essentially, I think what this is he's waiting for a work permit. He's waiting to see whether or not it's actually going to happen. Some kind of special talent exception. I don't know. So this looks like there may actually be some validity to it. Is this a desperation move? And do we actually think it'll pay off? And are we going to grab an additional striker besides him in January if it comes off?
Is he a striker though? I thought he was more like a winger.
When I see him play, I usually see him play, and I'm playing. I know in the Yupin, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I feel stupid now. The Yupin highlights that I saw, he was always up front and making runs at goal like by himself. So I assumed he plays striker. I mean, am I right about that, David?
Yeah. As far as I know, he is a striker. I think Edward, he's played in other positions, but I think his kind of official role is a striker.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't quite understand the work permit issues, to be honest. So it's hard to comment. But I mean, by all means, if we need that kind of extra firepower, then bring him in. But I think you guys have already touched on it in previous episodes. But I don't think we need this kind of player coming in up front. I think we need a more physical guy. You know, Edward said previously about we haven't replaced Lukaku. We haven't, and you can't replace Lukaku, but you can certainly find a more physical guy up front as a target man who, you know, when we are playing that one up front, it can be a more physical player. Lots of use of the word physical here, but that's what we need. We need that, and I'm just not sure that's his game. But I mean, by all means, as it is at the moment, I think we need as many options as possible.
Knowing Coleman, though, he's probably going to put him at right back or something like that.
Yeah, playing at centre back.
Yeah, might do a better job than Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Edward, you mentioned that he could function as a winger, and I could see Koeman playing him at winger, to be honest. I could see that happening because he was playing Sandro in that position as well. I could see that coming. That could happen.
See, the whole thing with Onyekuru, though, I don't really understand. As good as a player he is, we've already got plenty of players in that sort of position, because you just know that if he comes in, if Koeman's still here at that time, he's going to do something with him, and that's not going to fit in with how he normally plays. Like you see with Lookman, Vlasic, Morales, all these players are really, really similar to Onyekuru. So if he comes in, who's going out? And a lot of people are saying Lookman, and I personally don't want Lookman to go. I think he's a quality player. Chemistry he's got with Calvert-Lewin is incredible. So why are we not utilising that? Like, Onyekuru's going to come into a big league, which I know I said about the whole thing with lower leagues earlier, but he might not be used to the whole physical presence thing, like a lot of players are, like Vlasic is. So I'd say Lookman over Onyekuru at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm at the point, to be honest, guys, where if a fast player wants to come play with us, I'm fine with it. You know, and the fact is, he's really cocky. Like, he's got an attitude. The guy, when you actually see interviews with him and everything, he's maybe I should say confident, but I don't know. Sometimes too much of that can come across as cocky.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Doesn't that remind you of someone else we used to have? A Belgian player we used to have.
Yeah. He seems like a guy who wants the ball at his feet in front of the goal, which is cool. You know, I like the idea of someone coming in who wants the ball at that moment. That's great. I'd rather get a target man. The only way I'm fine with Onyekuru is if we're bringing in somebody who can actually hold the ball up some.
Yeah.
Somebody who can actually finish a dead ball.
Who would you want to bring in?
You won't like it, Edward. You won't. I thought Giroud could have done a serious job for us this season, and I think he still can.
What about you, Dave? Oh, sorry.
Go on. I was just going to say I think Giroud was my number one target, to be honest, and I think he was Everton's as well. I just think he'll get you 10 to 15 goals, maybe, but he brings a lot more to the team, and I think it's a real shame that he's sitting on Arsenal's bench when he could have been playing week in, week out for Everton. He would be my target. You know, he's had 5 years in the Premier League and he scored 100 goals. I know it didn't work out like that, but you know, that's 20 goals a season theoretically. I can see that you don't agree. Who would you go for?
I'd go for the other one, Welbeck. Personally.
See, I think Welbeck is such a worse option compared to Giroud, just for the, you know, he's more injury prone, isn't he? And
yeah,
more issues, I think. But I think Giroud is a safer bet.
He is, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind having him in, but I'd rather go for better options that are younger as well. 30 years old, I mean, he'd only be with us for about like a year and a bit, and then we're in the exact same situation again. Like with Lukaku, we're missing that guy, so then we'll probably have to go for another 30-year-old or another 30-year-old. And if we get someone in young, or at least like 25, 26, like Welbeck is, Welbeck's got strength and power and pace. He's basically a bit like a B-Tech Lukaku, in my opinion.
With Welbeck, there was a time where I wanted him to come to Everton, and I'm not going to sit there and act like he wouldn't help our squad, because I think he's fast. He is fast. Because speed is really what he's got more than anything. Speed and quickness. I don't consider him to be that physical. I don't necessarily think his hold-up play would be that strong. I don't see him as being someone who can finish in the air that well. And I think we have a player very similar to him, but even a little bit more sure-footed in Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I feel like Giroud gives us something we don't have already. And if I had Giroud on a one-on-one with the keeper versus Welbeck on a one-on-one with the keeper, I would think Giroud's going to finish it before Welbeck would. You know what I mean? Because there's a certain amount of Giroud's just clinical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but he's not quick.
No, that's why we have to put quicker people around him. Same thing we were talking about with Rooney. Got to put quick people around him.
Yeah, if you're gonna have that big target man, you have to sacrifice the pace a little bit, and yeah, I think. I just agree. I think Giroud would have been the best option. I don't not particularly like Welbeck. I think he's a good player, but if you give me the option between the two, even with the age thing, I think Giroud is the better option.
Another player rumor which may have less validity. Apparently, we've been linked to Carvalho again from Sporting. Do we think this is because Schneiderlin has not been his best lately? And is this a move we even need to be making right now?
No.
No, I don't think so.
If it was last January, I would have said yes. But the fact we've got Schneiderlin in, we've got Gay in, to be honest, we shouldn't really be looking at playing, like you've said, both of you, we shouldn't be looking really two defensive midfielders. We should really be looking at one. I mean, Schneiderlin and Gay, either of those I'm happy to have competition with. Besic added to that. McCarthy, when he comes back fully fit, is really, really good.
Yeah, I don't think we need him. I think by all means he seems a great player, but If we had to kind of list 3 places within the starting 11 that we need to strengthen, I don't think central midfielder is that. I think we should be looking at another centre back, maybe a back and obviously a striker as well. So no, not for me. I think the price as well. They're talking about 31. I think we need to be spending that money. And if I'm being totally honest, I don't actually think there's going to be anything in it. It seems an easy link to make to sell some papers at the moment, but I don't think we're going to be looking to January at the moment. I think he's taking game by game to make sure he's still here. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't want him. I don't think he's going to end up coming. I hope.
I'll agree. I don't think he's gonna be coming to Goodison anytime soon. But I usually try to play a little devil's advocate and try to get inside maybe the thinking process behind a move like this. And I think right now, Koeman likes to play Schneiderlin and Gay, 2 very different players. Schneiderlin doesn't really have the pace, and Gay really doesn't have the physicality. All right, Carvalho has better pace than Schneiderlin, and he's got physicality. So, would that enable us to play more with just 1 defensive mid and add that extra attacker? I don't know. That's the only rationale that I could bring to us maybe trying to get him. I got nothing else, because he's not a priority.
There's this whole thing with reports going on at the minute, and I know I shouldn't be saying really much truth behind it, with the Sun reporting on it, but there's this whole thing that we're looking at apparently bringing in Rafa Benitez. I don't know on that. I'm a bit iffy. I think he's a good manager, but the likelihood of him coming from Newcastle, especially when they're doing so well at the minute, and as well he used to manage Liverpool, doesn't make much sense to me. Don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
It's tough when he says, because he had been successful at a lot of places where he's gone to, and Liverpool had no right win the Champions League in 2005. I know that's coming from an Everton fan, but I think you speak to a normal-headed Liverpool fan, if you can find one, they'll admit that. That was a very fortunate event that they won that. But then they won the FA Cup as well a year later. He went to Chelsea, interim manager, won the Europa League or the UEFA Cup, can't remember what version it was. So he does win things, but similar to what Edgewood was saying, I can't see him coming. I think Newcastle's going fairly well for him. I think his ties with Liverpool FC are too strong, and I know his family still live on Merseyside, so people have talked about that being something to lure them to the city, but I think it looked like an act of betrayal. I know we went to Chelsea, but Everton obviously are bigger rivals to Liverpool than Chelsea, so I don't think he would end up coming, and I'm not sure I'd be too comfortable with it, to be honest. Yeah, not for me. I'd go on a different route personally.
Mm.
That's the third manager rumor I've heard so far. You know what I mean? And I think this is just what is getting clicks right now.
Yeah.
I know. What is his? Was it? Is it Matazzari? What is his name from Watford?
Oh, Walter Materazzi.
Materazzi. Yeah, I saw a story linking us to him, which is clearly just his agent trying to generate buzz. And it came from the Italian media. So, do you believe it? But also, I read one today about the manager at Shakhtar Donetsk, the Portuguese manager over there. He's a really good manager. Supposedly, we were looking at him before we hired Koeman, and he's done a really good job over there as well. This could be nonsense, and I think that's what we're going to see for a while here. Would I like a young, successful manager to come in? It'd be kind of cool, but again, it's a risk. So anyway.
My vote goes to Ancelotti.
I know. I'm actually thinking Bruce Arena, guys.
Which one's that one?
No, I was seeing you're supposed to laugh because that's the former USA manager who just resigned.
Ha ha ha!
You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know that and go. You're not serious. It hurts. Anyway, yeah. Okay, we got to move on because I feel sick. Last thing before we're done with the news. Peter Reid has come out and basically just like reamed the current Everton squad. Basically saying that Everton should be gunning for Champions League spots and that they haven't been really giving it a real go when they hit the field. And he's not calling for Koeman's head. He doesn't want him to leave yet. But he said results have to change. Considering that Koeman doesn't think Champions League spots are really possible for this Everton squad, who's actually right?
Well, I think Peter Reid. Without a shadow of a doubt, I think Peter Reid. I bumped into Peter Reid at Old Trafford after the 4-0 game a few weeks ago, and I did a chat with him, and he wasn't a happy fella. Obviously, he had about 10 points like the rest of us, but yeah, the thing is with Peter Reid, he's an Evertonian.
Yeah,
He is now. Anyway, he's played for the club. He's always loved the club, so he's suffering like the rest of us. He's spot on. I think he is in everything he said, really.
yeah. I mean, I've met the guy myself as well, so I know what you can tell straight away. He cares. He really cares about the club and wants to do well. And like you're saying, he's an Evertonian, so he knows what he's talking about in a sense. But he's echoing what a lot of us are saying, which is sad. It's sad that we're all saying this thing, and that Koeman is yet still turning his head away and thinking, no, I'm right in doing this. I'm going to make sure everyone else knows.
I feel like Koeman's basically saying, you know what, guys, temper your expectations, because if we don't fulfill what you're expecting, you're gonna get pissed at me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
and I think that's a common thing that people do, but I don't think fans want to hear that.
No.
I think they want to legitimately hear we are gunning for Champions League spots because we have the talent here.
The whole thing, I think, the one big problem I have with Koeman at the minute, forget about the stubbornness, his lack of passion. You look at. I'm gonna hate myself saying this, but you look at the likes of Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. You have to, even all of us have got to admit here, he is one of the most passionate managers ever. I mean, you watch him when Conte as well. You watch them when the team scores. They are celebrating like mad. They are shaking to the bone. They're jumping in with the crowd in a sense. And then when they're not doing well, they're all going, come on, look, we can do this. Come on, let's do. Koeman's just standing there with his hands in his pockets. Like, you do not want to see that. Especially when we're losing. You don't want to see it because it looks like he's just running out of options to do. So, find some bloody passion, Koeman. It's just...
The problem is with Everton, I've mentioned it a few times in some of the pieces I've done, but they just have such a... They've lost this kind of big club mentality. They had, late 80s, going into the 90s, basically the whole Premier League era. And it's just a very, very mundane kind of existence that they've got at the moment. And, we are having people coming in telling us that we should be celebrating, finishing 7th run. But, Evertonians have had that now for about 25 years. But the whole Premier League era, we haven't really been relevant. And, it was really difficult to see Mashiri, kind of our saviour, a few weeks ago, saying that it was the only game that we lost that he expected us to win, meaning that the Chelsea's, United, we were expected to lose them. I mean, that was not what Evertonians wanted to hear, especially after the summer that we had and the optimism at the start of the year. But I think that's sadly where we are at the moment. And I think the club needs an overhaul, not just the management. I think, we need to kind of ingrain this kind of big club mentality back into Everton if it's ever going to be successful again. So these kind of negative comments are just doing nothing for anybody, really.
It actually reminds me of the way Moyes was at Man U.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of undercutting it ahead of time. You know, and I mean he did that at Everton too.
Yeah.
You know, kind of just at Sunderland. He doomed
Yeah.
Sunderland at the beginning of the season. Yeah, we're in a relegation fight.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. You know, it's just going ahead and saying that is just it's negative. It's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember the famous line that he was talking about Everton with it's like taking a knife to a gunfight. That sums up Moyes perfectly for me. Yeah. So it's a difficult period with him.
And that's the news, everybody. If you are digging the videos, please subscribe. Click on the little thumbs up and like it, and then put a comment there so we can know who you are and we can say, hey, thanks for the comment. Yeah. Don't forget to check out Edward's channel as well.
In the description.
Oh, yeah. In the description. Yes, everything is there in the description. Edward is right. All right, so check out his channel, Jam E James. All right, Go the Game vlogs and FIFA videos. Also, thanks very much to David from the Toffee Blues website. If you're not reading David's pieces, what are you actually doing? What are you doing with your life? Anyway, thanks a lot. I guess that's it for the news. Bye.
Adios.